I hope this video finds everybody enjoying their week leading up to the Thanksgiving holiday. It's a season and a time to be grateful, and this meeting is going to focus on those pieces. This is the makeup session for the 11-2 and 11-7 meetings that took place for our new teachers and mentors. If you are unable to attend, I'm going to provide you with the information, talk about what we discussed during those sessions, and then provide a way to sign in and receive credit during the course of this video. So please make sure prior to closing out the video that you have signed in utilizing the Google form that's provided throughout the course of this training, and we'll go through that at some point during the video. So the agenda for our session dealt with I'm grateful. We talked a lot about t-tests, including the formal observations and areas of reinforcement, which we also include attaching evidence to your goals. We're going to talk about helping prepare for the holidays, and then we'll close out with the upcoming assignments and meetings and kind of show you some of the activities we created during our face-to-face session. So the I'm grateful activity, we talked about this holiday season, and right now we're all feeling right here. The season is upon us. We can just make it a few more days and we will be ready to have a full week to rest and recoup. But the Thanksgiving holiday feels like this sometimes. And then sometimes right before you come back, it may feel something like this. The Thanksgiving holiday is probably the best place holiday you'll ever see. As a first-year teacher, you will understand that as you get through the end of this week. Veteran teachers understand that the time before a holiday, you see behaviors and things come out in the classroom that may relate to students' anxiety as they prepare for a season when they may or may not know where they're going to be, where they're going to eat, etc. So you see a lot of behaviors come out in the classroom as ways for students to express that because maybe they're unable to place that into words. The I'm grateful activity focused on really taking a moment to reflect on things that you're grateful for. And in this activity, and I'm going to provide you with all the resources for it, what we did is we ran through each player or each member of the group was going through to select an M&M. From the M&M, they were completing a statement based on a set of directions that look like this. So if you drew out a blue M&M, you talked to the group about I am grateful for, and it was a colleague that you work with every day. And again, each color represented a different idea of what you were grateful for. I'm grateful for this student in my classroom who I come to teach every day. I'm grateful for my friend, spouse, significant other, or family member who I share my stories with at the end of every day. Grateful for this colleague that helped me through my first year of teaching. I'm grateful for the challenges provided by this student during my first year of teaching. And I'm grateful for this holiday season because what we really focused on during the meeting was a lot of times we get bogged down in the difficult pieces, the students that we've struggled with. And a lot of times what we forget about are those students that have worked so hard every single day and are doing everything in their power to do everything for you as their teacher. We forget about those that do the little things for you that have helped you get through this year. And so this is just an opportunity to reflect on that and really focus on the good things that are happening in your classroom and around you. And then also to appreciate those outside of the school setting, at home, family, friends that really listen and help you through those times when you need someone to talk to. So as you're going through this video, as you have time after, take a moment to reflect on some of the things that you're grateful for. This activity will be connected to this video on Google Classroom. You are welcome to use it, download it, change it. It's a great activity with the kids. Of course, when you talk M&Ms, you have to make sure and let the students know when they cannot eat the M&Ms. So you can see here in the directions, my last one was, and yes, you can eat the M&Ms as you complete your statement. After our grateful activity, we talked a lot about t-tests. So a lot of you have already gone through your formal observations or are having that formal observation this week. If you haven't had that yet, we'll talk a little bit there. But we'll also talk about areas of refinement that will come out of that as you complete your post-conference. So all formal observations are due by December 8th. So that is a district piece, and so all the administrators and appraisers are trying to get those formal observations complete through this holiday season. So if you've had your pre-conference and you've set up a time to have that observation, you already kind of know the process. After the formal observation is complete, they're going to do a post-conference that happens within 10 days of the completion of the formal observation. And at that time, they're going to share with you the data. So one sheet that I also will have shared with you in the folder attached to this video in Google Classroom is viewing your appraisal data. So inside of Eduphoria and Strive, this is a step-by-step direction along with the visuals to take you through on how to view those evaluations. You will have access to those after the post-conference once your appraiser has marked them as allowed teacher to view. This gives you all the notes, all of the areas of refinement, as well as the areas of reinforcement, so you can have those positives in those areas that you want to continue to work on. So again, based on the T-test framework, you'll see these different pieces show up, and you also go back and you can see your goals in those pieces. Now right now we don't have to do an electronic signature, but at the end of the year at the summative, you'll see that piece as well. And in the formal observation, you'll see each dimension in domains 1, 2, and 3 rated based on the distinguished, accomplished, proficient, developing, or improvement needed. So you can really see after that post-conference and go over that data a little more clearly, including the evidence that was provided by your appraiser. So once you've viewed your appraisal data, really what it comes down to is beginning to focus on the defined areas of refinement. Now remember, these areas of refinement are based on just that single 45-minute observation, something that was seen and evidence reinforces the area of refinement. This may or may not align to your goals and objectives that you set at the beginning of the year. What I will say is the assignment 3 in the Waco ISD Succeed program deals with goals and reflection. So this is a great time to sit down with your mentor, or for mentors to sit down with your new teacher and go through that area of refinement as defined by the appraiser and kind of make a plan on how we can help one another build evidence and work towards the goals that have been set out during the formal observation process. If you don't have access to that information yet, you can always go back to the original goals and use one of those as an area of refinement to work on over the course of the second semester. But the focus of the second semester is really helping the new teacher work through those areas of refinement or goals that were set either during the formal observation or beginning of the year. In the areas of refinement, we talked about the ability to add evidence that you can compile over the course of the second semester, or you may have already done so during the first semester as well, but building evidence towards attainment of the goals that you can talk about during your summative conference at the end of the year. Summative conferences happen by May the 15th. So again, I'll also be including in your document the add goal evidence. And this again is a step-by-step, including the pictorial of how to go through the process of adding evidence to your goals. This could be anything from outside sources, files that you upload. It could be trainings that you've attended in district. So you can go through your Strive or workshop platform and attach those courses to the goal. And again, you can add descriptions, Word documents, whatever you want to as evidence to support the work you've done towards achieving those goals or areas of refinement. Again, this is just great evidence to have when it comes to the summative conference at the end of the year to help guide that conversation with your appraiser on the work you've done in growing yourself as a teacher. So this is good for mentor teachers, this is good for the new teachers, and really sitting down and going through this process together can really help. So I'm going to give you a moment here. The sign-in information for this meeting, if you can navigate to this Google form, https://goo.gl/xkktuv. The sign-in sheet should look just like this. All you have to do, use your employee ID, and submit. Remember, to access this sheet, you must be signed in to your Waco ISD Google account. If it's asking you or telling you you do not have access, very likely it's that you are signed into a personal Google account. You can see here the email address it's collecting here on mine is my Waco ISD email, and that should be your Waco ISD email if you're signed into your Waco ISD account. Submit, and then you have signed into the session. So then we spent some time talking about helping to prepare for the holidays, and these are just some tips and tricks that found on the internet for new teachers and veteran teachers as well. Things that many of our mentors with years of experience understand, but prior to building up to the holiday, these are just some good practices. Now, it doesn't mean that these have to be followed exactly or that they're all aligned to your classroom. It's just some pieces of evidence that have been compiled by teachers that they feel may help our new teachers and avoid some of the downfalls of the holiday season. This has also been included in the Google Drive folder as well, with all 7 tips there with additional pieces along with the resource that was found on the internet for this. So just running through those kind of quickly. 1, don't build anticipation. Don't begin the countdown because many of the students already have it in their head. The other hard piece for teachers is sometimes we begin to build that countdown in our heads as well. And it really builds up the anticipation of that holiday season, and really it begins as the countdown gets closer and closer. We begin to see more anxiety, more excitement, more nervous tension with the students and the teachers as well. So, don't put up a countdown clock, don't put up the countdown calendar, and try to keep everything pretty much running in the same procedures and expectations throughout the course of the season. Resist the urge to ease up on your behavioral expectations. The students are going to remember everything that happened prior to the holiday in regards to behavior. Stay consistent, stay firm. Realize that, again, you may see some additional behaviors arise as you approach the holiday seasons. A lot of these, again, can tie to the students' anxiety and maybe not knowing what the holiday season holds for them. And a lot of times those come out in behaviors in the classroom. So really take time to focus on finding the root of the problems in some of those cases, if it's specific to a behavior or if there's a deeper underlying cause to what's causing the students to act out in that manner, and really try to help them work through that process. But again, don't ease up prior to the holiday. It sets the tone for how they come back from the holiday. So this works for Thanksgiving, and this really goes for that winter break as well, the next 2 weeks after Thanksgiving as they prepare for the holiday season, and that 2-week break for the students. Really setting that tone during that time for what will happen in January helps you get off to a great start in the new year. It's never a bad time to review your procedures and expectations. Take time to stop, model, practice, and redo those things as needed. But again, once you come back from the holidays, realize that whatever you had in place, you're going to have to reset those tones and expectations because the students will forget a lot of that. So take time to go back over your procedures and expectations. High interest projects, you're going to hear it. It's time to bring out your best lessons. It is time to engage your students. Make the activities high interest. It doesn't mean you have to completely change the structure of your classroom. You want to work these in during your normal structure so you don't have too much change taking place. But high interest, high engagement to keep your students on task. We know you bring your best lessons all the time. It's just a common statement you hear. So yeah, there you go. Preparing for the holiday season, don't feel like you have to have a fully decked out classroom. Many veteran teachers have gathered materials over the course of several years. They have a closet full of holiday supplies, and they may be decorating, lights up, all sorts of stuff. Stay within yourself. If you're a holiday person and you have those pieces and you want to do it, get after it. If that's stressful during this first year, don't feel like you have to compete with your fellow teachers in making that happen. Also, don't feel like you have to go out and buy all the trinkets and things that some other teachers may buy for their children. Stay within yourself to not build your anxiety as well. And that way you can actually spend time focusing on the students, focusing on your time with them, and then go off and enjoy your holiday season as well. Keep it low-key before the break. Don't try to send them off in a big hoorah. Again, you also have things going on in the holiday, and you don't want to build the anxiety for yourself as a teacher, and you don't want to build the anxiety for the student. Keep it low-key. Enjoy your time with your students. Send them off on a good note. You know, take time to really focus on your relationship with your kids. Talk about how you're going to miss them over the holidays. Send them home with a handwritten note to let them know you're thinking about them and you want them to have a great week. And then that sets the tone for when they come back. And finally, before you leave, this is probably the most important. If you can take just a few moments to prepare yourself for coming back. The most difficult thing is when you leave for the holiday and you're unprepared for your return. That means on the Saturday and Sunday prior to coming back, you're beginning to worry about your lessons. You're beginning to worry about the materials you need for the classroom. You walk back in and you have to remove decorations, take down pre-holiday season stuff, and it really puts you at a level of stress and tension prior to the kids coming back. So take time before the holiday to prepare for the return. That way you can enjoy your entire holiday. Upcoming assignments. Assignment 3, reflections and goal setting. There's one specific to the mentors, one specific to the new teachers. In that assignment, it looks like this. So this is the mentor piece. The new teacher piece looks very similar. You identify 3 areas of strength or reinforcement. And then the mentor is going to identify 2 areas of refinement. And then the mentor sheet, they're going to go through and y'all are going to set out a plan with action steps on how to target that area of refinement. Now again, if you have your formal observation data, you can target that area of refinement defined by your appraiser. If not, you could go back and look at the original goals and objectives set at the beginning of the year in the goals and professional development document in Strive. Or y'all can just find an area of refinement that the new teacher wants to work on and really target and set out a plan and action steps on how you're going to help them meet that goal prior to the end of the year. So take a few minutes, really set out a plan to help them with that, help them build that evidence for that summative conference. And this is really the meat of your second semester as a mentor new teacher, is focusing in on that area of refinement. We have a middle of year survey for both mentors and new teachers. Both assignments are due on 12/19. They open up actually this Friday on Google Classroom, so those will post and be available. And that really is the wrap up for the first semester. I believe there's one observation in the second semester for mentor teachers, and one more meeting in the second semester face-to-face with the new teachers in February. And then we will all meet together at the end of the year in May. There is an online session in January for mentor teachers to provide information on how to support your mentors or your new teachers in the second semester of the year. And those kind of detailed there. And then ultimately, we wrapped up the entire activities in the face-to-face with some hands-on, some crafting. An opportunity to take time to, again, show that you're grateful, show the appreciation, mentor teachers and new teachers alike. We made several of these items that they were then able to hand out to their new teacher or to someone, a colleague who has really supported them throughout the year. So I just kind of want to take you through and show you a few of those. It was a lot of fun during the meeting, and I really commend those groups that were able to attend. If you weren't able to attend, we've tried to hand out several of these pieces as well on the various campuses. But new teachers, mentor teachers, we made several of these items here. Stuffed with candy, M&Ms, just, again, small tokens of appreciation for the work that our teachers are doing each and every day with the students in Waco ISD. And sometimes it just feels good to have someone let you know that they're grateful for you. Just a thank you. We also did handwritten thank you notes. And really, again, just taking a moment to let your colleagues know, to let your students know that you're grateful, that you appreciate their work, you appreciate their effort, and that you want them to have a great holiday, and in that way, hopefully you receive some of that in reciprocation as well. So with that, as always, if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me by email. You also are Jeremy Kidd at secondary level. We're happy to come out and help in any way that you need. And we hope you again have a great, restful, relaxing, and rejuvenating Thanksgiving holiday, the holiday that was set in place specifically for new teachers and that couldn't come at a better time of year. So enjoy your holiday. Thank you again for all you do for the students of Waco ISD, and have a blessed day.